toDIYfor. So I'm a very big fan of the cement trend that has been going on for a little while now. It's so easy to recreate, and you can go out and buy yourself a bag of cement and you can do DIYs for days. So let me just show you a few that I made. So I actually just got a small bucket of cement. You will also need an old lamp, or you can buy a light kit. I used a milk carton, scissors, X-Acto knife tape, and some card stock. So with this light, I actually picked it up at the thrift store for a couple of bucks, and I was able to salvage the light piece by smashing this gently and carefully out. All I wanted was the cord and the part where the light plugs into. So I separated that, but again, you can just purchase this at a store. It is going to cost you quite a bit more, so if you can do the thrift store route, I would suggest that. I used a milk carton for the base of my light. It works great. You are going to need to cut a slit along the side there like I've done and put your light piece inside, and then you're going to put the cord along the side there and reseal it with some tape. Make sure you make that seal nice and tight around where the cord is sticking out there. I did put a little bit of tape over top where the light bulb screws into, just to keep any dirt and dust out of there. So my cement luckily came in a bucket. I just mixed it in there. You follow the directions on the side of the pail and add the appropriate amount of water. I added a little bit more water than I needed, but do it nice and slowly. You don't want this to be too runny. This is the consistency that I ended up with. And then basically I just spoonfuled a little bit of cement in the base of it to start, and then I pushed my light piece down and filled the rest with cement until basically the edge. I didn't want any really of the light showing. So once you get it filled up, you can hit it against the table like I'm doing here, shake it around. That will smooth out the top surface until it looks something like this. And mine wasn't sitting too straight, so I ended up grabbing a piece of tape and pulling it to the side and allowing it to dry that way for at least 24 hours before you cut it open. With the remainder of the cement, I just took a little bit of poster board here and I made myself some cones, taped those closed, and all I really did here was just to fill the cones up with some cement for some jewelry holders. So this is a wide one for some bracelets, and I did a thinner one for rings, and you want to put in the cement at the very bottom just a little bit at a time so that it gets to the tip of that cone, and shake it and tap it as much as needed until it all settles into the tip of that cone until you have it filled to the desired height. I placed these in cups to allow them to dry upright. Now, as you can see, I'm tearing this off here, and it didn't go so well because I allowed this to dry for like 5 days before I pulled it apart, and the fat one I took off after 24 hours. So the paper was actually still a little bit damp and it peeled off perfectly. This way, I ended up having to wet the paper and scraping it off with a knife. I was able to salvage it, but I would suggest peeling that off a lot sooner than I did. As for the milk carton, it is a great container to use because the inside of it is actually a little bit wax coated, so it comes off very cleanly and perfectly. I had no paper residue. So this is what it looks like when it is all done, and it was a little bit rough along the top, so I just took some heavy grit sandpaper and sanded off the top. To finish it all off, I added kind of an industrial style light bulb because this is going to show, so it was actually the most expensive piece of the DIY, but I really liked how it turned out. Let me know what you thought of those DIYs. Which one was your favorite? You can leave that in the comments below. And if you try this out for yourself, send me some photos. Love to see what it looks like. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at JanelleSteeper and tag me in those photos. Also, don't forget to use the hashtag toDIYfor. As always, looking for your suggestions. If there's anything you'd like to see me create, leave that in the comments below. I would love to make something or attempt to make something that you'd like to have yourself. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed the DIY, and subscribe. I will be back next Wednesday with a new one. Cheers. Oh, that's not too loud, which it probably is. It's just too hot in here to not have the window open. Nice and quick.